Hey there, sweet friend. Hope you are doing well. We are checking in for your energies. We're pretty close to this lunar eclipse. It is a partial eclipse in Pisces. Also impacting is North Node. We're also in Virgo, Sun. So, yeah, I think the energy is interesting. Wow. I'm going to put these back. Let's get a little bit more clearing in space and see what the major energies are. I will also do an extended, and we'll kind of just keep peaking for the week ahead because the energy is gonna. It's the first of many when it comes to this Pisces Virgo axis and eclipses. So this is something that's going to carry on for a good period. There's also impact or some resonance from 2015 to 2017 as well. If you want to get access to the energy update, that is inside the Soul Collective. So you are welcome to check that out. It's the second link below, and I'll send you details on how to get that inside. But yeah, I want to check in just to kind of see the week ahead because the energies will still be quite potent. And yeah, let's see what is going on and how we can best support your journey. I just want to say thank you for everyone who is here and who connects and shows up. I've had so many emails lately, which is really wonderful and really beautiful. I love that you guys, feel comfortable to open up and share where you're at and kind of what's going on in your world. I know it is different for everyone, but I have to say there's quite a major theme between everyone at the same time. And I just feel there's a lot coming to the surface, a lot coming to light that's going to support you, okay? I think gratitude is going to be a big one too, just to stay in the energy of what you do have and the things, like the future gratitude as well, of the things that you actually desire in your life. I do believe where you water things is where it grows. And sometimes, if we're finding ourselves trying to water something that doesn't want to, I don't know, kind of water back, especially in a dynamic or what they're feeding, in terms of what you're trying to plant and grow, and it's not supporting that space, that's also something we need to reflect on. And I feel like spirit is going to kind of show you that and allow you also the energy and support to do what you need to kind of do next, is how it's coming through. But straight up here, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Death energy, the Five of Swords. That's pretty intense energy. So, and what I mean by that is right now there may be some cause or focus that you want to put a lot of effort into, or you're really looking at what matters to you right now. You may be using work as a certain fuel for staying busy, but maybe too there's a part of your life that you want to dedicate or are feeling motivated to work towards something. Again, for some of you, I am getting like a cause or a purpose behind this. Like there's something behind it that has a particular meaning. And with the Death energy and Five of Swords, this is also talking about endings and new beginnings. But again, there's still this conflicted energy in the air of, how do you make change to the things that aren't working? How do you make change when you're in situations that just seem like they're kind of in your face and you can't step away and take a breath, so to speak, when it comes to situations or conversations? Sometimes you might just feel like you're always walking into it, even if you try not to be a part of the situation or you're trying to remove yourself from the energy. It seems to be showing up. And I think that's interesting that it's showing up. And then all of a sudden we get to this Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords energy. So subject to which way we want to read it, I just go with the energy and flow. I wish some of you guys could really see what goes on in the private sessions because it is pretty wild. And I think it's even been awakening me in its own sense, just how powerful being connected and channeling in and intuitive work is. And I hope I can interview a few people that have connected into that, because Like it's just been wild, guys. And when I talk about the energy, I think the only way that you can really understand how it transforms and flows into a personal session one-on-one, whether it's something that you book and it's pre-recorded, that still has so much power. And then obviously in person, the channeling can even go further. It's just, there's something here energetically that you're making progress, and I keep feeling there's a lot of progress that's being made. I feel it, I know it, and I know that cellularly, on a cellular level, you are changing. I know that, Pisces. I know that, friend. You're making changes, and they can be small steps. They can be inquisitive, movements. That can be some form of exploration, but you're doing something different that's changing the energy of it, and I like that. My light just went out. Hang on a sec. I find that interesting for the light to go out. And maybe that's what's happened. There's been a point in time where the light's been out and it's like, how do I plug in again? How do I plug in again to charge myself, to charge what I need to see, to charge my life and look at things in for what it is, rather than trying to do it in the dark and make, I'm going to say excuses, but I know they're not, because what you're seeing and what you're feeling and what you're identifying is coming up for a certain reason, whether someone's trying to make you think like that. But I feel in some aspects there's this illusion piece that is finally going to be swept away. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. I'm saying that the situation is clouding sometimes our judgment, because we have hope, because some people are just gaslighting, because we have to believe that there's something better, but sometimes there's just still this place that we get caught into of what our future was supposed to be, and it's not. And there's still parts of us that are holding on to that. And this energy right now is asking us to choose ourselves. And choosing ourselves sometimes can be the hardest thing, because parts of us have to break free. And that can be scary, because sometimes it's a place that we know, right? And we're familiar with. And that's what the easy part of staying there. And that's, again, this is part of the conflict, or part of what is showing up. But with the Empress energy, the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, the thing is, which is the utmost truth in every single person's situation, there's a worth that you have, whether you choose to see it or not, of your power, of a level of energy, of manifestation. We can all reach, okay? We can all attain our desires in one form or another. But we've got to be willing to do the work. We've got to be willing to take the steps. We've got to be willing to believe in ourselves. We've got to be willing and intentional, which are two pretty intense things to take hold of and move forward. It doesn't need to be this Speedy Gonzalez thing. This is like an energy that is trusting, and it's an energy that is more thoughtful and mindful in the process. And that's one thing that you have available to you. We all only have a certain amount of time on this earth, okay? And that's different for all of us. You get to choose how long you want to spend in a space. And I know sometimes there's going to be a specific thing that will trigger response for us to finally make a significant change. But sometimes it's like the pain, I don't know sometimes what that is. Sometimes it's no choice, but it's really underneath something we've manifested, even though we may feel like, well, that's not what I wanted. But ultimately you probably manifested it because you are asking for some saving. You are asking spirit, you are asking God for some saving in some way, or you are asking to help, and then the help's presented. And sometimes it might feel like the world is crumbling down, or, just like the why, and sometimes we don't get those answers, but I always believe people will show you who they are. It's whether you choose to see it or not. Okay. And some people are sorry, I'm talking to some friends here that I know have been in these situations, and I can even vouch for it too. But some people are so covert and manipulative, and can really twist things up, for humans. And sadly, it's becoming more prevalent than I wish to express. But so many people I speak to, so many situations and things that I connect to, like, it's pretty sad that there's people out there that's just how they live their life, and how they really hurt and can destroy others. It makes me sad. And I think that a part of this right now is, again, knowing your worth and moving forward in a way. It doesn't need to be fast, but I think the thing is, it's like, you need to have a strategy ahead or in play for when you do make the choice and decision to move forward. I'm sorry if that took a long way around to get there. I was just in this channeling energy of just frustration for some of you. The moon energy, the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. This is like, you're never going to know the plans, the outcome, so to speak, of where spirit is leading you. But I think intuitively, there's a part of you that, even if you don't know, there's a part of you that just, when you get to relinquish and open space in the trust factor. This is Pisces energy. This is Cancerian energy. I take this as that you're supported and you're protected. In addition to this 8 of Wands, that it's interesting because, if we tap into Cancer energy, I do talk about Mars is in Cancer right now until early 2025. That can make us a bit firecracker-ish when it comes to the home front, when it comes to us finally speaking up what you want, what you're going to tolerate, what you won't tolerate, the action that you're willing to take to make that change or to improve your situation. Maybe there's a motivation to make, to renovate. And it doesn't mean to be literally renovate, but it might be renovate different areas of your life or the home space to really support better energy, better just way of living, whatever that might look like for you, because that's going to be different for everyone. But I feel like there's something moving forward here that you may not be fully aware of, but whatever you're doing behind the scenes is going to matter. Your thoughts, your plans, and then your action, because the action is the key component here, especially in the eclipse and North Node being in Aries. It's not necessarily just thinking and daydreaming and as we can do in Pisces, or keeping things hidden or keeping things to ourselves. It's like, it's time to put things in action. And I feel like that's a big part here, and doing it on a foundation that, you can hold on to it. You can hold on to whatever that foundation looks like, but are you willing to give to it, or you want to just hold on to what you've had? And that's the deciding factor that you've got to make right now. You can keep living and keep doing the same thing that you're in, or you can choose, like, this is kind of the tipping point, so to speak, on which way you want to go. And again, it doesn't need to be gone in a matter of 24 hours, but it's the strategy, even in the unknown, the intuition, the trust of the movement forward, that when it's time to push that button and press go, that you're not even really going to think about it. You're just like going to be so motivated. I'm doing this, and it's kind of like jumping in the ocean, I guess, in some regard. But I don't know, you've got a spirit team, you've got a squad there somehow that you may not see, that is around you, or may not feel it to like 100%, but I think you're supported in ways that you may not realize. And with this 10 of Pentacles showing up here, this is talking about the foundational piece of where you feel just safe and supported in this home life. And sometimes it doesn't look like the traditional sense of what that meant to look like. Today, this is talking about a trusted space. You got the two dogs here. The dogs are trusting. They're like pretty solid companions. They love you no matter what. There's this unconditional aspect. There's also this part too of gaining sometimes support and having some form of, I guess, stability from people outside yourself that can really help create a home that feels like I'm actually on solid ground here. And again, like, you're not left behind, you're not forgotten. And I think that's also something to remember along and part of this process. But again, it's, you get to choose what this is. And as much as, sometimes we feel we don't. We do. We just need some plan or insight, or sometimes that belief, and that one person to believe in us, and that one person who can just hold that secure blanket to know that, I don't know, even the faith in people, you know, when that right person and that right time just shows up when you needed them, that you didn't know how, but you just believed, and your faith just outweighs everything. And when we look underneath it all, you got the 10 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Swords with the Sun energy. So this tells us here, guys, that amongst the burden, amongst the heaviness, there is change upon you in good fortune, in good support, in good faith. And whatever comes towards you, whatever is delivered, whatever the focus is right now with this, again, I don't know if it's news, information, or just some truth that's coming towards you and being communicated. It's something that will light the path. I think it's something that will put you out of space of just looking at things or just deciding to finally doing, you know, is how I take it. Yeah, there's a choice to be made. And a place to rebuild and start building a new energy and spirit within yourself to go and do and go create and go make this part of your life that you really want to step into. Let's have a look at any advice here that you need to know. Any advice for you, friend? A lot of energy, a lot of feelings. Let's get one more. We had a lot more, but let's just see what Spirit has. We've got the Sun again, twice. I'm telling you, got the Knight of Pentacles again. So there's something pretty solid that's showing up here. It may be someone from your past. I think there's a part of you that someone still may, as you're stepping forward and as spaces are opening up in your life, I think there's still part of you that naturally you're going to feel and fall into and be in conflict with, you know, the memories and, you know, remembering the things that you had, remembering or looking at what you believe or what you wanted and what you desired for your future with that person or that situation. But what I recognize too, there's something really important here and also about blocking out what is not working, what is in conflict, what is not your truth. And that's not easy. And I know you feel the burden of it. But I feel again like you're very supported here right now. I know some of you are making a change and having to, it's a weird thing when you say choose you, but sometimes it's choosing you because you're putting someone else above you or like there's more meaning to them or the situation when it doesn't even match your love, your depth, your care, your transparency, your willingness and able to show up in every aspect for that person or for that situation when they're not even meeting you halfway. You know, and I think this is the power of choosing you. It's like all that energy and effort and consideration and care and support that you're giving this thing that doesn't even value it and care for it. Why can't you have that? Why cannot you give that to yourself and finally choose you? And I feel like this is what this is about, and blocking anything that is not meeting. There's a child inside of you that deserves to be loved and nurtured and cared for. We all have different upbringings, right? I get that. We all have different history, but ultimately we all want love and we all want to be cared for. And I feel like there's this part of we do need to give that to ourselves first. That's like a huge step, and how we can nurture ourselves and how we can build our own strong foundation so we can bring all that other stuff to kind of work and grow with us. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you've got to start choosing you first to be able then for other things and situations to also connect to that energy and thrive in it. And I feel like this is something here that there is potential conflict around. There is, you know, someone who might be trying to make amends right now or trying to, again, lure you into, oh, but we can make this okay. But I also think you're being asked, like, this is a time to really stand up and put some boundaries in place, because with this energy, it can be quite blurred with boundaries, being in Piscean energy. But I think the more that you can do that for yourself, the more that you will be able to accelerate forward, because there is something that wants to spark, okay, and grow and move forward and help you build. But the more you're holding on to the past energies, or the more that you're holding on to situations that aren't serving you, the slower this will move, and the slower that, you know, the energy of the Ten of Pentacles can give to you. Does that make sense? So I know there's a lot of intensity right now, but there's also a lot of beauty. And I know you're supported, and I know a lot of you are on the precipice of this jump, this leap, where there's a sense of freedom, even though it's a bit scary. I've never done base jumping, but I can imagine it's kind of like a base jump, right? I've always wanted to skydive. I've never done it, but I've always wanted to skydive. It's been on the list, but I don't know. I feel like my heart would probably burst out of my chest. But I don't know. Base jumping, I kind of can, you know, where they jump off, I don't know, some cliff, but they get parachuted up, and it's like the most scariest thing to take that jump. But there's an exhilaration, and then there's this sense of achievement and freedom once having taken that leap forward. And there's also usually giggles and like, oh my God, like I did it. And then when you get to that other side of I did it, there's this reassurance, there's this momentum, this, oh, I can do that. Well, I can do this next thing. And I feel like that's what this energy is about right now. It's, yes, that one step, but sometimes you got to take that big, scary first step. And then you recognize, oh, that actually wasn't too bad. Some days might be easier than others, but I feel like this is what it's about. You know who you are as a person. You know what you deserve in terms of like what comes into your world. You know that you are, I think too, the Empress energy for a lot of you, you're creating something new. You're expanding in terms of who you are and what you connect to. But maybe you're feeling like a bit stuck right now, okay, in what that is meant to be exactly for yourself, because the energy around you is not, it's a little strongholding you, so to speak. But I know you can make progress, and I know you can move forward. It's just making a plan. And it doesn't need to be 5 things at once. It's just that one thing, like I said, kind of like that base jump. And you can do it tandem. You can find a friend, phone a friend. If you don't have a friend, I am sure there are so many incredible people I've met inside this group that probably you can tandem jump together in your own way. Hopefully one is more skilled than the other. But, you know, I feel like if you really needed a friend, you can find one in this collective. There are so many amazing human beings that are probably on a similar journey as you, and it's just a really cool thing. So put a shout out. I don't know, maybe we can connect people if that's what you need right now. And it doesn't mean like they're going to carry you, but it's knowing that you have people that have got you back, that you've got a space to express yourself, and know you're not alone. So if that's something that you need, again, feel welcome to reach out, and we'll figure out how to bring that together. Anyway, that's a lot. Intense energy, but I don't know. I felt the love today quite incredibly, guys. The day before this eclipse, the love is pretty intense and beautiful and dreamy. So you might be all over emotionally. We're all going kind of through different things, but for a lot of you, I know that there's a lot of shedding going on. So I don't want to keep going on and on, but appreciate you. Love you guys. If you haven't booked your reading, you literally have today to do it and get that special opportunity and offer, because doors are closing, full stop. I don't know when I'm going to open them again. So just to let you know. All right, friend, I'll catch you later. Bye.